I ain't hearing Zoro at all.
Yeah, so we're going down behind it. If you jam the cable, like again.
One, two, one, two, one, two.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for the commencement of this international friendly between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, please welcome the competing teams to the field of play this afternoon.
I ain't getting no song. Alright? Zoro, you hearing me? Song check, Zoro. Both teams and officials entering the field of play. As the line in front the goal to the north.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a mark of respect to our competing teams, we invite you to please stand at attention where you are for the playing of the national anthems. We begin first with the national anthem of Grenada. And now, the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right, well, good afternoon and welcome to this international being played here at the Victoria Park. St. Vincent and the Grenadines taking on Grenada in this return, of course, following last Saturday's game in Carriacou. I'm Anthony Denny, and here with me, of course, is Mr. Cecil Charles. Cecil, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and good afternoon to viewers of VC3. Yes, welcome to this, the return friendly between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, the Spice Isle. And the preliminaries have taken place. The teams have all greeted one another and now stood to the national anthem. And very soon we are going to see the start of this encounter. It's noted that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are kicking to the goal to the south. And Grenada will be kicking to the north towards the pavilion. So players are now taking up their positions.
All right, it seems as if it's going to be St. Vincent and the Grenadines captain Cornelius Stewart wearing at number 9. Looking to have the first kick. Of course, referee Moet Games just having a look at his watch. And we'll soon be having the kick-off here this afternoon.
And he's assisted by Denroy Barker and Kenran Daniel.
Long searching ball down the left flank there by Vincy Heat is nodded back there, looking for, that looks like, still gets around it and works his pass. One goes to the ground, but there's no whistle. And Grenada will now clear. Tussle for it there in that midfield, and there is, looks like Chavelle Cunningham, but it's going to come right back to Francis. Wearing that number 15 shirt for Vincy Heat. Goes to his left and finds Jamal York. York looks for and finds his number 11.
Alexander.
And whistle going there. Bundled to the turf.
Down went Najima Borgin.
All right, so it's going to be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines just inside their own half. York skips past one. Decides to go back in defense, and it's going to go further back to Kevin Francis. Francis, a veteran in the squad. He's been in and out of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team, looking for his captain, Cornelius Stewart. Stewart the flag is up. I believe it's against, for a free kick for Grenada.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're into the second minute of this encounter. 0-0 as we see the Grenadian custodian. That's Richardson. And seems as if he's going to look to boot this one upfield. And a little overcast afternoon here at the Victoria Park, but there's a nice flowing breeze into our commentary position. Ball is worked off the head of Francis and cleaned up there by the number 2. That's booted away by the Vincentian defense. Williams knocks it upfield, aimlessly, I should say, onto the head of a Grenadian, who knocks it further to his right. And we'll now find that number 10 player for Grenada. That's Lewis. Back in defense, Grenada. It's with their number 16, Ganis. I believe that's the name. Hope I have it correctly. The ball is out of touch. And it's going to be a goal kick to Grenada.
Definitely. So far, very quiet start indeed. And both teams just trying to find their footing.
Without a doubt. Early days, I should say, as it's with the big number 6 there for Grenada. Finds Ganis on that left flank. Nice ball there into the middle. Knocks it further forward, but there is Francis knocking it away for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Chavelle Cunningham, ball off for the Grenadian player. That's Ganis. And it's going to be a free kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Jackson's actually wearing the number 17 shirt. And it's going to be Matthias to take that free for St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the right half, just about midway. Works this one in top of the 18, heads go up, and it's missed there by the advancing Vincentian player. Grenada with it now, and they will try to build from the back, but giving it away, and well, luckily comes back to the Grenadian player. And still with it, finds Ganis has his number 10 ahead of him. That is, and well, St. Vincent defense is there to knock it away. And not yet any great sense of construction just yet, Charlo, as you said.
Yeah, I think it's really trying to find their footing. You can see they're trying to build some passes, but I think the surface is also a bit soft.
Yes,
underfoot.
We certainly had a tremendous amount of rainfall in St. Vincent and the Grenadines over the last week thereabout. And as you rightly said, it's a little soft on the underfoot. Ganis back into the middle, finds his number 19. And it's going to take me a while to get familiar with these Grenadian players. Long ball upfield onto the head of Francis. And finds his number 4, who's Najima Bergen. Bergen still with possession. Nice work there from Bergen. And well, eventually giving it away after all that good work by Bergen, but it falls nicely there for Jackson, and finds Francis on the right side for Vincey Heat. Well, it's back with Francis. Jamal York in the middle there. And St. Vincent and Grenadines just knocking it around in defense here. Showing some patience. Good work, and bad work eventually there by Williams. And a bit of a tussle, and certainly fouling the Grenadian there, giving away a free kick at the top of the 18 there.
Definitely. I think that defied the good work that was done just a while ago, and really just putting a bit of pressure on themselves. But it's outside that 18-yard box, and we can see now Vincey Heat trying to build a wall and to counter-attack the Grenadians.
Into dangerous territory. Joshua Isaac is there. So too is Kazim Theodore. Let's see which one of them takes it. Isaac is the closer one, winning number 8 for Grenada. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines just ensuring that 5-man wall, but it's a 4-man wall. Thought they were going to add a 5th player. Let's see what happens here, as it seems as if Isaac is going to take it. And into this, the 6th minute. And here comes Isaac, and it's just to the
just
right
outside that corner. Agonizingly close.
Not a bad effort in the end. It was a little weak, and maybe with a bit more pace. Certainly could have a bit more pace and just a bit more direction. Could have created some problems there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But nonetheless, goalkeeper Javan Peters is going to knock it upfield onto the head of player there, knocking it further forward. St. Vincent and the Grenadines in tussle there for possession. And eventually it's knocked away. It's going to be a throw-in for Grenada. So Vincey Heat just about a week ago winning that encounter, historic game in Carriacou. And I just want to take the time out to reach out to folks in Carriacou if you're following this here. Coming out to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We thoroughly enjoyed that game last Saturday. And nice little venue there in Carriacou. But here's Francis knocking it back to Javin Peters. Can't pick it up. Peters boots it upfield and finds his number 4. That is Bergen. Knocking it further forward. Looking there for player to run onto it. And doing well. Was looking to cut back there. But in the end, good defensive work by the Grenadian. And I believe it's going to be a corner kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The first corner kick of the game, Charlo.
No, it looks like a goal kick for Grenada.
Well, I got that one wrong.
It came off the Vincent shot and out of touch.
So it's 0-0 in this, the 8th minute, as goalkeeper Richardson just asking his players to move further forward from the Spice Isle. Let's see what he does with this one. Boots it right up down the middle. As a matter of fact, onto the right side. At my compass a bit off there, and whistle going infringement against Williams there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and a free kick to Vincey Heat on the left side, just inside the Grenadian half.
But very noticeably, Eddie, is that the Vincentians are trying to get forward. A number of the players trying to get forward to put some pressure on the Grenadian defense.
And free kick is now floated into the middle. Not the best of free kicks, as Ganis is there. Robbed of it nonetheless. And there's a mad tussle for possession. Finally, it comes away with Grenada. And ball knocked onto the left side. It's with Lewis. Lewis giving it away there. And In the end, it comes back to Grenada with that looks like Ganis. Ball no diagonal, but it's going to be cut out there by Najima Bergin. And into the midfield, looking there for Cornelius Stewart. Stewart has a little bit of an error ahead of him. Let's see what he does. Decides to cut into the middle. And quite nimble on his feet here, Stewart. Maybe just hang on to that ball for just a little too long. But nonetheless, it's still with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And here's Williams on the left side, but doesn't have the pace. The Grenadian defender is there and shadows it. As a matter of fact, it goes out of touch. And another goal kick there to Grenada.
I think it's a good piece of work by the defense there for Grenada, just shadowing that and allowing it to go out of touch.
Certainly. And here comes Grenada now with possession. And not the best of passes, but of course having the space there is Lewis. Knocks it further forward, player running onto it, but there is Francis, and a good bit of play there from Francis, but the Grenada not giving up, and there was a little bit of short tugging there, and eventually it's going to be a free kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines deep inside the own half on the right side. And nice little crowd building up here this evening, Charlo.
Yes, I think at the start it was very sparsely populated, but it's growing, and one would anticipate by the second half we should have a pretty decent crowd.
Here's St. Vincent now moving in. Nice ball there for
Cornelius
captain to run onto, and well, first touch failed him a bit. As a matter of fact, found the boot of the defender, and it's going to be a corner kick to St. Vincent.
First corner.
Yes, it is.
First corner in the 11th minute of the game.
Just looking north, there seems to be some grey skies north. As a matter of fact, there's some rain in the mountains.
Yes, I was just going to tell you that.
And it's going to be Najima Bergin who's going across to take that corner kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bergin. Let's see what he does with this one. Floats it in. The head is up and it's into the arms of the waiting goalkeeper there for Grenada. That's Richardson. Nice take there from Richardson. And the whistle going, infringement called. And there's going to be a yellow card. Francis, as a matter of fact, being shown a yellow card in this, the 11th minute of play. So Francis has to be careful. It's a friend international, but of course you don't want a situation where your team is down to 10 men. Yeah. Richardson taking that free for Grenada and floats it upfield. Let's see. Onto the head of, looks like Bergen there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the ball, well, still with Vincy Heat. And finally gaining possession, there's Grenada, but it's
Matthias losing it.
Well, there's lots of feet going there, and that one good cut out there by the number 5 there for Grenada. That's Marshall, and here is Abraham still with possession for Grenada, looking to cross, and it ricochets off Erua Matthias there for Vincy Heat. First quickly taken to Abraham, back to Marshall. Nice work there from the Grenadians. Cross comes in now, and this could be still some danger, and weak shot it is. Ricochets, but a nice bit of build up there from Grenada there, Charlo.
Definitely, I think I think the Vincentian should be very lucky. Coming off the leg of one of their defenders, and you can see him, one of the players still down, and really was a good build-up, a nice pass by the number 5, and really it was for one moment very threatening.
Yes, the shot in the end wasn't the best, and here we see what looks like the physio for Grenada coming on field. Seems as if it's the captain who's down, and the intentions, of course, just there, you know, maybe catching a breath. Yes, it is the captain who's now being pulled to his feet, wearing the number 10 shirt, of course. That's Sidrell Lewis, and looks as if Lewis is going to make his way off to get further attention. So Grenada very well down to, yes, 10 men, and the throw is now taken, long one. It's nodded away by Najiba Bergen and knocked away finally there by Williams for Vincy Heat. And scoreline remains 0-0 in this, the 14th minute. So Grenada, seems as if They have some very strong arms. Let's see how far he gets this one. A good long throw. The heads go up, and St. Vincent is going to come away with it. There is Alexander in a bit of a battle, and the whistle going. Infringement called against Grenada. Well, it's actually
against St. Vincent.
It's against Jackson. And kick is taken on the right side. Floated in, comes back out there now to Gannis. Closely marked by Captain Stewart. Plays it on there. There's number 17. And good work. As here comes Cornelius Stewart. Long searching ball, but the defense is going to get there first. The keeper's way off his line. This could be the goal number 1. It is into the back of the net. And that you have to mark down against goalkeeper Richardson, who's way too off his line there, Charlo.
Yes, I think the defense was caught napping, and you can see Cornelius Stewart pulling the defense with him. Nice pass to Thomas, who really went to his right. He beat the final defender. The goalkeeper came off his line, beat the goalkeeper, and he just tapped it into the back of the net. So in the 15th minute, Vincy Heat won.
Grenada nil. And there is goalkeeper. Well, you're not seeing him on camera, but we're looking at him, and his arms are akimbo. But he has nothing but himself to blame for that one. Was way off his line. The defense was there. There was 2 defenders there with Thomas. And as a matter of fact, he was outside of the 18-yard box. I was really surprised at where goalkeeper Richards found himself. And in the end, of course, giving away an unnecessary goal. St. Vincent and the Grenadines with a 1-0 lead here in the first half. Grenada now on the right side. And after a 5-minute spell of some fairly good football there from Grenada, giving up the early lead. Battle for possession there on the far side, and it's knocked out of touch. And it's going to be a throw into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Curtin Williams
gives it to Najima Borgin.
Yes. Williams, that's Borgin, sorry, takes the throw, finds a goal scorer Thomas, has 3 Grenadians around him, and in the end he's bundled to the ground. There's no whistle there, and Grenada will continue with possession. And knocked away by St. Vincent, and the Grenadines now back into the Grenadian half. And there you see goalkeeper Richardson playing fairly high. Has to be careful, Richardson, but they have lots of space and possession. Grenada, good ball there from that's Gannis. Long searching ball on the right side, but it's gonna go away. But not a bad thought there from the Grenadian player there, Charlo.
Well, definitely, because the Vincentian they're looking to get into the Grenadians half, so he recognizes that not many persons are in defense, so he's trying to get forward and get his players forward so that they can counter-attack.
Here is Thomas again in the battles. He has 1, 2, 3 around him. They're really crowding Thomas down that left side. And Grenada now with possession, knocked back there to goalkeeper Richardson. Stewart is trying to get there, but knocks it into the position of Gannis. Finds his number 5, and still with Grenada. Gannis, and there was Jackson. That crutching slide ricocheted off the Grenadian player and resulting in a throw-in.
But interestingly, Eddie, you note that there are 3 players who are around Jackson, not giving him that freedom. But it was Jackson who actually scored the goal.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yes, Thomas wearing that number 13 shirt.
Thomas, rather. Jackson wearing the number 17.
So it's going to be St. Vincent and the Grenadines with yet another throw. And that was straight onto the head of a Grenadian. And back with Grenada. Not much construction. Finally it comes to the feet of a Vincy Heat player. Goes right back in defense now to Jamal York. York has Bergen to his left and finds him now. Bergen closely marked and in a battle for possession. And in the end does well. Good piece of football there from Bergen. Comes into the middle there now to Alexander. Alexander looking for Jackson, but it's cut out there by the Grenadian. And there's Thomas once again. He's been in the battles today. And Cornelius Stewart, now the captain for St. Vincent, losing possession. And Grenada. Good work there by that player. As a matter of fact, yes, it's still a Grenada. Deciding to go right back in defense. And this seemed to be the mindset of the Grenadians to try and, work things on the left side. Brawl coming in there, but keepers quickly off his line. That's Javan Peters. And there's Matthias finding his captain, and a poor touch there from Stewart. Grenada still with possession there on the right side. Looking to get around Bergin. Yes, he skips past Bergin, plays into the middle, and Francis is there. Shot comes in, still with Grenada. And here comes, that was not good football in the end there from the Grenadian. Robbed of it. And here's Stewart. Knocking it further forward now for Thomas. Sliding tackle, good sliding tackle there. He might have hurt himself. That is Marshall. And in the end, it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But Marshall is in some pain. Certainly, the physio is on field.
But I think just prior to that, I think the Vincentian defense was caught napping really, but not a good finish by Grenada. And in the end, Vincy Heat, they were able to come away with it. And eventually we see Marshall trying to clear it, giving Vincy Heat a throw-in, but he's down. And we see he's now making his way off, actually. And maybe for some further attention.
So it's going to be, it looks like Jackson.
Matthias.
Is it Jackson?
To take the throw-in.
Yes, Matthias. Wearing that number 2 shirt. Meantime, Marshall gets some attention off pitch. But this one is floated up, and Williams is there for Vincy Heat, but Grenada wins possession. Whistle wing, infringement there against Scotland Williams for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And there is Marshall going from right to left. Grenade on the right side. Ball is cut out there by Williams. Going to Stewart. Gets around the player and has one ahead of him. Let's see. Skips past one
nice
into
ball.
the part of, he was looking there for Thomas to run onto it, but Thomas wasn't really looking for it. And Richardson was quickly off his line there and cleaned up whatever danger was there for Grenada.
A good piece of work by Cornelius Stewart.
It was. Nice work there from Matthias. Regains possession. And goes to the ground. No whistle there from referee. Games out of touch. And the throw into St. Vincent. Taken by Matthias. Finds Thomas. Thomas. Marked there by Gannis. Finds Alexander, who knocks it into that 18-yard box, but just a little too much on it. And Grenada with possession, but there's Najima Bergin knocking it out of touch. As a matter of fact, hitting one of our cameramen.
A good piece of work by Bergin.
Yes.
Not allowing the forward there for Grenada to advance.
Yes. So we're 23 minutes into this one. 1-0 lead for the home side, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we must say that the exchanges thus far, despite that 1-0 lead, has been fairly even, Charlo.
I totally agree with you. It's really even. I think both teams still trying to find that ascendancy to take charge. But for a few minutes, Grenada would be in charge, and it's a ding-dong battle, really.
All right, here is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Matthias with some space on the right side, and as Gannis now in attendance, cross comes in. Not the best of crosses there from Thomas, and it's booted away by what looks like Marshall, out of touch. And
throw in for St. Vincent.
But certainly Matthias could have done better with that cross, finding the Grenadian defender, and he just knocked it out of touch, clearing the danger. So it's still 1-0 in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as Matthias is going to take that throw. Looking there for Thomas. Gets it back. Young Vincentian outfit it is here today. Jamal York, one of the more experienced players. And York looks for, finds Williams in the midfield. Williams looking there for maybe Cornelius Stewart, but it wasn't well directed and could only find goalkeeper Richardson.
A lot more pace on it. I think Stewart was definitely beaten there, and the goalkeeper came off his line.
Marshall for Grenada finds Ganis on the left side. Ganis looks for his captain Lewis, and backwards St. Vincent, and the Grenadines now. Thomas looking there for Alexander to run onto this one, but really and truly didn't have the direction. And there was the Grenadian defender just watching it. That's Trevon Williams. So allowed it to go out of touch for a goal kick. And I believe I might very well be mixing up Williams with Ganis, but play continues nonetheless. And Richardson, with my humble opinion, would have gifted Vincey Heat that first goal. Knocks it upfield. Headed on there by the number 8 there for Grenada. That's Isaac looking for his captain Lewis. It went out of touch. And Matthias with the ball for St. Vincent and the Grenadines now finds Alexander. Alexander knocked it further up, out of touch once again. And another throwing to Vincey Heat. Matthias. A lot of play taking place on this, the right side. Charlo. Battle for possession. And there's Thomas, the goal scorer, still with it. And he's always finds himself in a situation where there are about 2-3 players around him. But here is Grenada now with possession, number 7. Nice ball. And player with some space ahead of him. Let's see what he does. Goes further to his right. And York is out there for Vincey Heat. But Grenada still with possession. Well, Grenada with it. Number 13. Cross comes in and maybe a little too high, but gets ahead onto it. York is there and knocks it away, averts the danger momentarily for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as Grenada will try to build once again. Still has possession and not the best of passes there. And, well, Stewart with it for St. Vincent. Matthias looks for, finds what looks like Najima Bergen. Bergen on the left side. Cross comes in, looking there for Thomas, but poor cross it is. And tall, lanky Grenadian is there, but so too is a Vincentian defense, and eventually it's going to find its way out of touch. And it's going to be a throw-in to Grenada. So Ganis wearing at number 16. Looks for his captain Lewis, closely marked there by Matthias. Lewis hanging on to it for Grenada, comes back to Ganis. And Ganis has 2 defenders around him, and well, almost, well, he's out of real estate in the end because of Matthias's tackle. Knocking it out of touch.
Corner.
Yeah, it is a corner kick. So the crowd is building slowly here at the Victoria Park. We've gotten a bit of sunshine, I should say. But in the distance, in the mountain, some overcast conditions. But things are looking pretty good here at the Victoria Park as we see what looks like Ganis has gone to the ground. And referee Mort Games is going across the physio. Make it his way
So
on field.
Theodore who's going to take that corner.
Yes, but in the meantime, Ganis is there getting some attention. And also on the turf, it looks like Matthias.
Matthias.
Yeah, it is Matthias. Not seen on our screens, but the Vincentian physio has just ran across to give some attention to Matthias. All seems to be okay with Ganis for Grenada. And now, yes, you see the Matthias of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the turf now being pulled up. And it's going to make himself off field, sorry. Grenada with that corner kick. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines down to 10 men. And certainly we'll have to be careful here, Charlo.
Most definitely. And it's a corner for Grenada, taken to our left. And we can see the defenders along with about 6 or so Grenadians inside that 18-yard box.
So let's see what's going to happen with this one. It's 1-0 in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Minute number 29. Corner kick to be taken. It's floated in. And, well, it's out of touch off the boot of Captain Lewis. I think this one might have just very well caught him off guard.
Certainly caught him napping off his boot. Out of touch. A goal kick for Vinci Heat.
Wasn't really looking to get it at that time there, Lewis. And here is Peters now for Vinci Heat. Looking there for, it looks like Alexander, but Gannis gets the head in. Good work there from Gannis. And finds Lewis now, but
Good
Francis gives him no space. Alexander's bundled to the ground there by the Grenada number 19. That's Theodore. And free kick to St. Vincent.
And we can see Matthias back on field.
He is, definitely. So Francis goes right back there to Jamal York. York looks for and finds Bergen. Bergen is closely marked, knocks it back to York. Still has possession and gives it away there to the Grenadian. This could be a bit of an anxious moment. A lovely shot. Gem of a shot there from the Grenadian player wearing that number 8 shirt. And it's Grenada 1, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1. A blast of a shot there from Isaacs. And certainly Jamal York giving it away at the top of the 18. And Isaacs wasted no time, buried it to the right there of Peters, and equalizer there from the Grenadians.
Great piece of work there by Grenada to equalize. And certainly one cannot fault Peters in the situation. It was a whistler. And it was in the top of the right-hand corner. And really Grenada equalizing in the 30th minute really of play. And so it is a 1-1 affair going into the 31st minute.
Cracking shot, of course. Well taken there by Isaacs. And that is what you call a marksman.
Yeah, it certainly whistled past the goalkeeper, Peters.
Had absolutely no chance there. And Thomas is going to try and get things going for St. Vincent and the Grenadines once again. It's 1-1. And trying to locate referee Moet Games.
He's just behind the goalkeeper, doing a bit of checking on something.
Oh, there! Wow, he's doing some kind of repair work to the netting. It was really struck with some venom, with some pace, and certainly referee Mott Games is not on our cameras, but referee Games is ensuring that all is well as far as the netting is concerned. But it was a fine shot taken there by Isaacs.
Certainly. So all is well. You see Mott Games trying to get back to his position so that player can continue. There goes the whistle.
St. Vincent with possession just inside their own half, but Lewis gets it and still hangs on to it now. Finds his number 13. And, well, this could, well, the whistle goes offside.
Goes up for offside.
Yeah.
Yeah. A player lurking in the back, just getting ahead of the defense and defense.
That was Isaacs there again. And Peters now knocks it upfield, looking there for Williams, but it is jumped by the Grenadian. And St. Vincent looking to get possession with this one, but the Grenadian defender is there first. And the boots is out of touch. It's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Grenada's responded well. Of course, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team scoring in the 15th minute off the boot of Rondell Thomas. Bad goalkeeping work there from Richards. And some 15 minutes thereabout later, Grenada responding certainly in a big way. 1-1. And here is Grenada now with possession in the midfield. Still hanging on to it. Ball comes out there now to Gannis. Brings it down. Gannis skips past one and gets past a second. Grenada now trying to make some movements. A bit of a pulling of a shirt there by Jamal York. Not picked up there by the referee. And Williams now with possession for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's Cornelius Stewart. Has possession. Stewart still looking to skip around the defender and appealing there. But I think it was good defensive work in the end by the Grenadians.
Definitely. And more games would have nothing to do with it.
So here's Marshall for Grenada on the left side to Gannis. Back to Marshall. Long diagonal searching ball, but can only find Najima Bergen, and whose first touch sort of let him down, but he did well, of course, to regain possession. Loses it now to Isaacs. Isaacs floats this one over,
and he scores!
Goal! Grenada, second goal coming in this, the 34th minute. And Isaacs, the marksman, clever work there from Isaacs. He saw the advance in Peters and just tipped it over the advance.
Yeah. And I was just going to make the point that from the time they equalized, there was that momentum from Grenada. They were gathering that momentum, and you can see they were businesslike. And here it is that Isaac once again putting the pressure on the Vincy Heat defense, score the second goal. So it's now Grenada 2, Vincy Heat 1.
Well, Captain Cornelius Stewart is there gesticulating with the rest of his team. Certainly some sloppy work there in defense, and Isaac capitalizing on it, immediately pounced on it and saw the advance in Peters and just chipped it over his head. Goal number 2. So it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 2. And ball now deep inside the Grenadian half is with goalkeeper Richardson. Richardson looks for, finds Gannis on the left side. Gannis goes back to Marshall. Marshall, let's see what he does. And finds his captain, Lewis. Lewis with 2 yellow shirts around him, and eventually it's knocked away by Gannis. That man is there again. Isaacs does well, but eventually it's knocked away there by Jamal York. Williams, battle for possession, loses it in the midfield. And here comes Grenada once again. Ball on the right side. Let's see what he does with this one. Nice ball into the middle. Was looking there for the advancing player, but unfortunately couldn't get there. And Grenada nonetheless with possession. Not the best of crosses. A weak one. And Peters, in the end, averting whatever danger there was, Charlo.
But certainly the Grenada, you can see that they had gathered that momentum and really, at the moment, in the last few minutes, outrunning the Vincentians.
This could be problems once again, and it is goal number 3!
And it's that man,
Isaacs, hat-trick for Isaacs. And really and truly, some poor defending by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Simply just stood and was ball watching for that matter. And Isaacs pounced on it and rocked it past goalkeeper Javin Peters. It is St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 3. We're into what, 36 minutes?
36 minutes, but really some very poor work there by the defense for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that man, Isaac, not wasting any time, capitalizing each time the Vincy Heat made a mistake. He capitalized. Hat-trick for him, 3 goals to 1 here in just the 37th minute.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines would have won that game last Saturday in Carriacou by 3 goals to 1. But what a response here from Grenada. And kick off there by Captain Cornelius Stewart. Looks a bit
But
stressed.
the body language for the Vincy Heat does not speak well.
Definitely. Jamal York in defense. Goes back there to Kevin Francis. Francis. Let's see what he does with this one. Works it forward, but can only find what looks like Gannis.
So it's Gannis, Isaac. that combination.
Here's Richardson now with the ball for Grenada. Boots it upfield. Looking for his captain. Nice head on there from Lewis, given the circumstances. And it's with Grenada. Ball on the right side. And well, that was a crunching bit of work there. Isaacs once again knocking it on. Could this be number 4? And in the end, it's averted there by Peters coming off his line. And really and truly, the ascendancy here this afternoon is with the Spice Boys.
And if you look, the crowd is rather silent. It has grown significantly, but at the moment they are on the back foot and a very silent crowd indeed.
Well, Isaacs has taken the crowd out of this one with that hat-trick. And a hat-trick that came out in the space of what? Some 7 minutes?
5 minutes.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah. 7-minute hat-trick. And here comes, keeper's off his line. And Rolls it out there for what looks like Bergen for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There was the advance in Frank. And the ball is now knocked way out of touch. So we're into the 39th minutes here at the Victoria Park. And Grenada, of course, responding well following that loss last Saturday after 37 minutes, leading by some 3-1. We're into minute number 39th, and there's a Grenadian, what looks like the
number 13.
Right.
That's Abraham.
Right, Stefan Abraham.
Seems to be holding on to his left ankle.
And now the physio is going to come in to give some assistance there to
but really, I think, Vincey, they were shell-shocked. And they really would have to regroup. And regroup very quickly if they're going to come back in order to dominate here, because they're 2 goals behind. And really, I think, as a result of some poor defending on their part.
Definitely. Isaacs, of course, he got the space and he used the space given to him, granted to him, and made of intentions pay. Hat-trick in some 7 minutes as here is Grenada with possession once again. Cut out there by Williams for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this way of knocking the ball into the air by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, of course, really and truly not doing well for the team. But there's Captain Cornelius Stewart bundled to the ground, whistle going, and it's going to be a free kick to St. Vincent just inside their own half on the left side. It's going to be Bergen who's going to take it. And let's see what he does with this one. Finds that is number 6, looking there for Thomas. Thomas with possession. Looks for, finds no. Robbed of it there by the Grenadian defense. And Grenada is going to come away with it once again. Long one upfield, and that's the number 7 can't get there. And Javin Peters for St. Vincent and the Grenadines wins possession. That's the goalkeeper, finds Francis. Francis now to Alexander. As Matthias racing up that right flank, but loses possession. Good work. Well, eventually there's a bit of a tussle, and St. Vincent wins possession. Alexander.
Williams.
Good ball there for Williams. Cross comes in, and well, there's a lot of real estate, and Richardson looks a little nervous there. Looked a little nervous there, but in the end, averting whatever danger there was. But has to be careful. Richardson finds Gannis nonetheless, and to his captain, Lewis. Looks for, finds Isaacs, and whistle going, infringement against Francis. So it's a free kick to Grenada. And pretty interesting position there, Charlo.
Most definitely.
So it's
Theodore
who's coming over to take this one. And there you see the crowd building here this afternoon. Of course, following this is going to be a first division encounter where police are going to be taking on, started off the national championship here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Floated in there from Thomas, and well, in the end, good goalkeeping, but a nice kick taken there by
looping ball.
Yeah, it was well taken.
It swerved with the wind and he tapped it out, so it would be another corner kick for Grenada, but a good piece of work by the goalkeeper. Yes,
and good free there from Theodore.
So Theodore moving from left to right to take the corner.
All right, seems to be that dead ball specialist for Grenada. And let's see what he can make of this one. Floats it in, heads go up, nodded away for yet another corner kick, is it? No. It's off the head of a Grenadian. And goal kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're into the 43rd minute. Here's Francis. Matthias loses possession there to Grenada. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 3. Here comes Alexander. Looks for, finds his captain Stewart. Closely marked there by what looks like Marshall it is. And Stewart walks past him. Cross comes in. And well, for a moment I thought this might have been an own goal. But there's Williams. Shot comes in, and a good piece of goalkeeping there from Richardson. Knocking it away. And it's going to be resulting in a corner kick.
Corner for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But it was a good piece of build-up by Cornelius Stewart. He crossed, he was looking for someone in the center. Knocked away by Grenada. But there was Williams pouncing on it. Had a very good shot. The goalkeeper dived and actually parried it out of touch for a corner for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's going to be Williams on the far corner.
Williams, let's see what he makes of this one. Floats it in. And there's Kevin Francis nodding it goalwards, and Richardson plucking it out of the air. Averts all danger there for Grenada. Score remains St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 3. There's Marshall, and there's well, that's a crunch and tackle there from the big number 5 there for Grenada. That's Marshall.
He gets a yellow card.
Yes. Second yellow card of this game. Of course, Francis for St. Vincent and the Grenadines would have received a yellow.
And now it's number 5.
So
Kimran Marshall.
we're going to be heading into extra time. I haven't seen any indication from the 4th official. Just have to have a look at it. I believe we might very well be having what looks like 1 minute extra time. 1 minute extra time.
Official has indicated 1 minute of added time to the end of the first half. 1 minute of added time to the end of the first half.
So St. Vincent and the Grenadines with this free kick. Lining up behind it is Matthias.
Can they nudge one back just before half time?
Let's see what they make of this one. And not the best of free kicks. Comes right back out there to number 6. Shot is taken right along the turf, and Richardson's right behind it. And bowls it out to his right. So Grenada leading this one by 3-1. Going right back to goalkeeper Richardson. To Marshall. As Gannis to his left. Finds him now. Back to Marshall. So they're going to knock it around until the whistle goes, and that's it. The end of the first 45 minutes here this afternoon at the Victoria Park. St. Vincent and the Grenadines versus Grenada in this international friendly. And after the first 45, 3-1 to Grenada, and certainly a deserving lead for the Grenadians.
Yes, I think the Grenadians they played they had it better off that first half, and Isaac ensured that Grenada went ahead. They equalized, and very soon after they went ahead, and he ensured that they took it further by within the space of 7 minutes, scoring 3 goals and really pushed Vincy Heat on the back foot. And really, so a deserving lead for Grenada going into the first half. It gives enough time for Vincy Heat now to regroup, to look back at what mistakes they would have made in that first half and what strategies they will come out in the second half to counteract that.
All right, so that's the end of the first 45 minutes here this afternoon at the Victoria Park. I know our friends in Grenada will be happy with the scoreline, but we have another 45 minutes to go, and let's see what happens. We certainly take a break, and when it's time for half number 2, we'll come back with you here on VC3. Have yourself a good one, that's well. All right, well, we're just about to witness the start of this Friend International here this afternoon at the Victoria Park. Home team St. Vincent and the Grenadines taking on Grenada. Both teams are back in the middle. Doesn't appear as if there's any substitution. Doesn't appear that way. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines certainly will have the kickoff. And just to remind you of the scoreline, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, Grenada 3. Goal coming for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the 15th minute off the boot of Rondell Thomas. But then after that, it was the Joshua Isaacs show in the 31st minute, the 34th and the 36th. A hat-trick for Joshua Isaacs and 3 goals for Grenada. They have the lead in this one. So Grenada with the kickoff. And ball is knocked on the left side there. Finds Captain Lewis, but his first touch wasn't the best. Out of touch. And a turn to St. Vincent and Grenadines taken there by, looks like Matthias.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines has made a substitution. Number 19, Chad Haynes, is in to replace number 10, Kirtland Williams.
So that's the new player who's in. Chad Williams substituted, replacing Williams. And Grenada now with a free. Looks like Ganis over there. Let's see what he makes of this one. Floats it upfield. And into the path of Isaac. Shot comes in. And it's going to go fairly wide to the corner flag. Let's see what happens. In the end, it's still with Grenada. Floats it in. And there's Captain Lewis. Again, his first touch should have let him down. And St. Vincent now looking to come away with it there on the right side. Flag is up and it's out of touch. Alexander tried for all his worth, but just going to keep that one in, Charlo.
Definitely, I think it was a little too heavy on him.
So Canis with the throw in. There's Isaacs, is it? And eventually goalkeeper Peters is there. Bowls it out, looking there, finds Thomas, the goal scorer for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thomas still with possession, it's closely marked. Showing a little bit of the ball there to the defender. But here comes Cornelius Stewart. Stewart, pacey player. And still with it. Closely marked indeed. And comes back out there to his number 6. And the Grenadian defense is there to boot it upfield. This is going to go out of touch. That was
Poor piece of work by Michael Williams.
Yeah.
That should have really, should have done better there. And really giving it away inside that, just outside the 18-yard box for Grenada.
Najima Bergen is going to take the throw in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bergen to Alexander, back to Bergen. And Grenadian getting a boot in there. Ball is out of touch. So early days in this, the second half. We're into the 40th minute. Grenada still leading this one. 3-1. Thanks to hat-trick there from Isaacs. And I understand that Isaac did not start the game in Grenada. Came on as a second half substitute. And he scored that lone
goal in Carriacou.
Yeah, right. And in this
he has shown his worth.
Without a doubt here this afternoon. It's going to be Marshall to take that throw-in for Grenada. It is a Grenada throw-in. So Marshall's going to look to have one of those long throws into the 18-yard box. And finds what looks like Isaacs looking to nod it on, but it's knocked away by the Vincentian defense. There's Bergen getting a head onto it. Comes right back out to that's Etienne. Knocked it forward. Still a Grenada nonetheless. And here's Isaacs. And saved in the end there from Peters. That man once again given some space, and maybe he should have done a little better there, Charlo.
Yes, I think it was a bit rushed. I think he really didn't have much time to control. He took a one-time shot. But good piece of work by Peters, and a corner kick for Grenada.
So it's going to be that player who's been taken all.
But again, we see that Isaac is unmarked.
There you go. So Theodore is going to take that corner kick for Grenada. First corner kick of this, the second half. They're up by 3 goals to 1. Theodore floats it in and nodded forward. There is a header coming in there from that is Frank, and struck the upright. Luckily there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The goal kick is quickly taken. Matthias, Alexander, back to Matthias, looking there for Thomas, but it's cut out there by the Grenadian with their captain Lewis. Goes right back in defense now there to Marshall. Marshall to goalkeeper Richards, and still with Grenada. Christian James knocking it upfield there. And St. Vincent comes away with it now with Najib Bergen, and a good piece of defensive work there by the Grenadian. That's Frank, still with possession, and robbed of it in the end. Here's Thomas, has Captain Stewart to his left. Stewart has 2 Grenadian defenders with him, and robbed of it in the end. Looking to do a little bit too much there, Stewart, and it's knocked forward by Grenada. Isaacs, Frank, looking for the player in the middle, but can only find what looks like Matthias for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Matthias still with it, floats it further forward. Stewart is there, but here comes Richardson quickly off the line and knocks it upfield. And this could be a bit of a, well, in the end, a good work there.
Good sensible piece of work there by Francis.
Yes, in the end.
Nodding it to the goalkeeper who came off his line. But it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming away with it. Finds Thomas. Loses it to a Grenada and he goes down. But what games is play on? Najima Bergen finds Thomas once more. Back to that number 19 in Chad Haynes. Finds Alexander. Move to the far right. Matthias, number 2, looking to go down the right flank. Crosses it. There is Goss, misses right in front, inside that 18-yard box. Cornelius Stewart running for all his worth. It knocks it back into touch. He goes down. Moet gains his play on. He's still down. And it's Grenada. Grenada with it. Long ball. There is Matthias again, cutting that out. You can see Cornelius Stewart not yet regaining himself, just trying to get to his legs. Number 2, and he has a shot at goal outside into the corner netting. And it's going to be a goal kick for Grenada, but Cornelius Stewart, I think he's holding his hand.
Yeah, apparently the player might have stepped on his hand in that tussle that they had here. There was Frank trying to get around Najima Bergen, and in the end Frank wins possession, looks for, finds his number 17, and still with it Grenada. Nice work there, back to Frank. And Grenada looking good on this the right side, but infringement there against the Vincentian number 6, Charles. And
it's number 18, he gets a yellow card.
So, yellow card there to York. Second Vincentian being shown a yellow. Of course, Francis got a yellow in the first half, and so too did Cameron Marshall for Grenada. But it's going to be Theodore to take this free kick for Grenada. And Theodore has been taking all the spot kicks for the Grenadian team here this afternoon. We're into the 53rd minute. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines yet again on the defensive with this free kick. And nodded away there by Charles. And it's going to be a corner kick now to Grenada.
Definitely.
So pressure still very much on, Charlo.
I think the Grenadians, they came back in the second half with the momentum that they carried towards the end of that second part of the first half, and really putting the pressure on the Vincentians at this present moment.
Theodore again to take that corner kick. We're trying to probably get it maybe just close to the edge of the 18-yard and headed in. Lewis is there, the captain, brings it down nicely, but forced. As a matter of fact, the defender getting a boot in there, knocked away. It looks like Bergen. And again, Grenada with a corner kick. Again, it's Qasim Theodore. Wearing the number 19 shirt for Grenada. Theodore floats it in. Better looking corner kick, this one. And there was Isaacs getting the head onto it, and it comes back out. Alexander, it looks like, to get possession there for St. Vincent. Walks past one, and it's out of touch. Through into St. Vincent. Whistle going there, infringement against the Vincentians.
But the Grenadians, they're hustling the Vincentians off the ball, and Denny.
Well, Captain Cornelius Stewart now coming back into play, not on our screens. But
the bandaged finger.
Yes, so seems as if he was stepped on by the player in that bit of a tussle. And Grenada now with a free kick. It's going to be taken this time by the number 13 player. Free kick now to be taken.
Abraham.
Floated in. Nodded away by the Vincentian defense. Comes out there. But again, it's Grenada with possession. Finds the big number 2 and knocked off Thomas. And Grenada. No, it is. No, St. Vincent with a throw. It's Bergen. We're blocked a bit by these tents that are just in front of our position, so it's a little difficult to pick up. St. Vincent with the throw in now. Nice header there, but can only find the big number 19 there for St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Charles, is ricochets off the arm of Charles. Whistle going, and I would like to think this is against St. Vincent. Yes, it is. And free kick. As a matter of fact, referee doing a bounce ball. As to why the whistle went, I have no idea there, Charlo.
Well, certainly, I think I'm in the same spot like you, but got a bounce ball, but it's Grenada still with it.
Here's Ganis. Back into the middle now. Still with Grenada. They've really had a lot of the possession in this encounter, Grenada. And there's St. Vincent giving away possession yet again, luckily regaining it. And it's with Charles, loses possession again to Grenada. Lewis into the middle, finds what looks like, well, good work there from Jamal York. Finds Matthias. Matthias to Francis. Francis knocks it upfield. Looking there for Thomas. Into the path of, it looks like, Matthias. Well, Stewart was quickly bundled to the ground. Not being given any space here this afternoon, Stewart. He's that pacey, nippy type of player, and the Grenadians, they've realized it, and certainly not giving him any space whatsoever.
Yes, they're certainly keeping him at bay. Keeping him quiet.
As it looks as if it's Matthias who's going to take this free kick for St. Vincent, as the crowd has built up a bit here this evening. And we might very well see the lights going on here at the Victoria Park. It's just about 12 minutes away from the 6 o'clock hour local time. And Matthias takes that free, floats it in, nodded away there by Theodore. Back to Matthias, brings it down on his chest, gets past Lewis, but cannot get past the second defender. Whistle going, as a matter of fact. It's a free kick, I believe, to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And seems as if it's going to be Aaron Jackson was there. So too is Matthias, who actually spots it. And the 3 yellow shirts around the ball as the Grenadians make sure that they pick up their respective defensive position. And Matthias now is going to take it for Vince Heath. Oh, poor, very poor free kick indeed. Comes back out nonetheless, and knocked away by Grenada into the path of Jamal York. York has some options, decides to go through to his captain Stewart, and again closely marked there Stewart. And in the end, this is gonna, well, play in the end win well there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
That's Chad Haynes.
Still with it, but in the end, the Grenadian player getting a boot in. That is Etienne knocking it away. Throw in taken there by Jamal York to Charles. Charles to St. Vincent. Robbed of it, but it comes into the path of Thomas. Finds what is looking for Alexander, but there's Francis nonetheless to try to clean things up, losing possession. And good boot coming in the end there from Najima Bergen. Lewis, nice header on there by Lewis. And I was looking for the whistle there from referee Games, but nothing came. Javin cannot pick that one up. And nonetheless, St. Vincent will come away with it on the right side. Skipping. Sort of skipping there,
Wild kick that missed and out of touch. Or throwing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Here they go, Captain Cornelius Stewart. This might be dangerous, but Richardson's quickly off his line.
Good defending there by that number 21 for Grenada.
That's James. And ball is out of touch just in front of us. I believe it's going to be a Grenadian throw. And we're into the 60th minute. So Grenada still with a 2-goal lead here this afternoon. Bogan gets a boot in there. Charles looking for Captain Stewart. And he's keeping it in, Stewart. Has Etienne ahead of him. And well, he almost nutmegged him. But in the end, a bit of pulling and tugging there from Stewart, looking to get possession. And whistle going. And it's going to be a free kick to Grenada. I believe referee Moet Games just asking for the lights to be on. We quickly losing the sunshine or whatever light there is. Richardson knocks it upfield, looking there for Isaacs, but could only find what looks like Matthias. Here is Charles, robbed of it, gained by Grenada, and that's, well, St. Vincent with possession now through Haynes, looking to get Captain Stewart going there, but caught flat-footed, and in the end, it was an easy taking there for goalkeeper Richardson, who brings it back into the 18-yard box, and certainly with a 2-goal cushion, just takes his time, comes out there now to Etienne. Theodore for Grenada. What looks like Ganister on the left side. Back into Theodore. Goes back to Marshall. So they're just knocking it around Grenada. A long diagonal searching ball looking for Frank to run onto, but Najma Bergen is there first and heads it into the path of goalkeeper Javin Peters. Bowls it out there now to what looks like Alexander. It is. And still with St. Vincent. Charles now finds Bergen. Bergen looking there to get Thomas going, but good defensive work there from Etienne, knocking it out of touch, and the throw into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Bergen, Thomas, that's Charles, and well, I believe the Grenadian player would have just gotten a bit of a boot onto it. His looks like Lewis still with it. Shot comes in, and not the best of shot. It was a feeble one. And making life a little easier there for Kevin Francis as St. Vincent comes away with it now on the right side. Floated forward there for Haynes. Chad Haynes it is. Still with it, Haynes on the touchline on the right side. As a defender ahead of him, cross comes in. As a matter of fact, it's a low shot in the end. And some comfortable, easy work there for Richardson.
Tame shot, and Richardson had no difficulty in controlling that. And Grenada comes away with it.
Here's Frank for Grenada. Has 2 or 3 yellow shirts, but he does well around him, and finds this player there now to Isaacs, the goal scorer for Grenada. The man with a hat-trick here this afternoon, and in the end it's out of touch. I believe it will be a throw-in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Still 1-3.
Into the 63rd minutes of this international friendly here at the Victoria Park, and referee Games. Whistle going. I believe he's just going to go over and have a word with. Well, actually, it's giving the players an opportunity to get a break, and I believe referee Games wants to get the lights on.
I think so. The lights certainly fading here, and I think it has taken quite a bit of time to really come into effect, and. So I'm sure after this quick short break, we may well see the lights on. But so far, nothing has transpired.
Well, so far, even Stevens in this second half. We've not seen a goal in the second half. But, of course, the Grenadians indeed having some good exchanges here this afternoon. And certainly, of course, coming off that defeat in Carriacou,
they've come back with a vengeance.
Definitely here this afternoon, and I believe that the personnel who's responsible for the lights now going to put the lights on from our vantage point. I'm seeing movements being made as far as that is concerned, and the referees there, well, referee Mort Games, I should say, with his assistants, and
Barker and Daniel. And now we can see the lights coming on, and certainly there's a significant growth in the crowd.
Well, there is a
first division game
right after this one, due to start at, I believe, about 7 p.m. thereabout. And it's going to be the start of the
Premier Division,
the first division, I believe.
Oh.
But the lights are slowly coming on. As you know, they have to take some time to take effect, and it's a shame that certainly the crew responsible have taken so long, to get these lights on. That's not the way we do things here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and certainly we have to do a little better, Charlo. There's no question as far as
there's certainly no question about it. Well, I think about 5 or so minutes ago, the lights should have been turned on, but it took quite some time, and they would have to heat up and red take effect, and that would need a few minutes. But you can see referee Moit Gaines along with his assistant there just relaxing a bit, and the Vincy Heat in a little huddle. See Grenadians with their officials there strategizing and the likes, but the Vincy Heat, I haven't seen any of the officials in terms of management, so it's up to the players.
They're having that discussion, and I agree with you, Charlo. And now, as we look at our screens, you can see the light
begin to take some effect.
Yes. So I believe any moment we should be having a resumption of play here this evening at the Victoria Park. The first division game to follow will be Police versus Green Hill. And of course, Green Hill Central Kingstown team, police squad, a team that quite naturally encompasses players from throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. And now we see referee Mort Games going over to have a chat with what looks like the manager of the park, of the Victoria Park. Not on screen, but referee Games just had a quick word with him. And I believe we should get that for resumption any moment now. Referee Games, well, no, still he's back there in the middle with his assistants. And there's just that bit of quietness here.
Yes, and I think the crowd has been rather quiet because SVG has really been behind the 8 ball, and I think they're not happy with it, so they're really kept quiet. And I think if the Vincy Heat can score and narrow the gap, I think the crowd, I believe, would come alive, and that might give them some momentum.
Well, first of all, it certainly have to be a stepping up of the whole game attitude, so to speak. The Grenadians have been quite naturally, quicker to the ball. They're better defensively. They've been in situations, especially with those goals from Isaacs, where there were just some large spaces, large swathes of land.
Isaacs has literally gone unmarked.
Yes.
And he has capitalized on it. The whistle goes, so for a resumption. And the Vincy Heat slowly making their way back to their various positions.
All right, we would have stopped our clock. I'm not too sure what would happen with the official position. But whatever it is, certainly if it is a situation where referee Games would allow the clock to run, we're in for some substantial amount of overtime, extra time here this evening. As yes, you now see the lights taking effect, and this certainly can really and truly slow the momentum of the players.
Oh yes, you have to take some time to get warm once again.
Well, it is going to be a throw-in, and throw to be taken by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I believe there's going to be a substitution. We'll await and see. Just seen some work under the tent of the fourth official. And I believe with all the time we've lost thus far that would already would have been worked out, Charlo.
Well, we wait and see. Because certainly we are not in a position to say what is going on.
Thomas has been, well, let's see which of the team the substitution is for. We've seen number 13 up. And yes, Thomas is out for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And number 7, I believe,
Shabel Cunningham. So Cunningham is, no, that's Marlon Simmons, sorry. Marlon Simmons. Cunningham not with the team today, I believe. Bergen looking there for Brad Haynes, and nice work there from Simmons. But in the end, it's still going to be a goal kick for Grenada. So Richardson taking his time and just asking for calm from his players. Now beckons for them to move forward, and just tucks it to his right. Player finds Etienne into the middle, finds now wearing the captain's armband, that is Theodore. So it seems as if Lewis is off for Grenada. We didn't pick that one up, Charlo.
No, definitely.
But nonetheless, Grenada still with it. Here's Isaacs now with Keith Francis ahead of him. Gets around Francis, gets into the middle, and in the end, Jamal York just sticking a boot in and knocking it away there for Vincy Heat. Theodore. No, captain in the side, and well, here is Grenada, gets around one, shot comes in, and just parried away there by Peters, and was able to recover in time. Simmons nodded it forward, looking for Stewart. Stewart in the end gets possession, and still with Stewart. Releases now to Simmons. Offside, there is Simmons. And it's going to be a free there to Grenada. But we thought for a moment that St. Vincent and the Grenadines was actually doing something that could have caused a bit of a problem.
Yes, but I think Simmons was a little too quick off his mark and actually got ahead of the defense. And up went the flag of the assistant.
Richardson. Knocks it way upfield. Looking for that quite pacey, nippy player who just came in recently there for Grenada wearing the number 27 shirt. We'll get that name for you in a little while. And nonetheless, ball is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Charles knocking it back there now to Kevin Francis. Francis to Charles. Goes back to goalkeeper Javin Peters. And Peters looks for Simmons, but I believe this one is go. Well, it finds Najim Bergen, and in the end, Simmons doing well, and Etienne just sticking a boot in. I believe it is off of Simmons, and Etienne gets the throw in, finds his captain, Theodore. That's Theodore. Yes, to Marshall. Marshall to Ganis. Ball upfield, but could only find the head of Francis, and back with Grenada, but first touch not the best. And here is Matthias with St. Vincent and the Grenadines now. Ball into the middle there. Looking there for Cornelius Stewart, but wayward bit of a pass, and Grenada now will take possession. It's actually number 23. I got that number wrong, Charlo. And that's Denroy Phillip. But here's Simmons for Vincy Heat. Etienne is in close range and wins possession for Grenada. In the end, whistle going, and it is going to be a free kick for Grenada. Infringement call against Simmons, Marlon Simmons. Theodore floats it into the path of, that looks like Isaacs over there. Ganis. Back to Theodore. Still with Theodore. And ball is out of touch. Grenada wins that throw in. Long ball in out to Frank. Frank looks for and finds his number 23. But not the best of ball into the middle there, and St. Vincent once again with possession. So still Grenada with this 2-goal lead as Cornelius Stewart, captain to captain. And let's see who is going to win this battle. Stewart still with it. Theodore with him nonetheless. And Stewart twisted, turns, cross, comes in now into the waiting arms of Richardson. And the battle of the captains, if you can say that.
That's in a very tame shot to the goalkeeper.
Well, Richardson taking his time.
But one could certainly see that they are not allowing Stewart any space whatsoever.
Grenada with possession. Etienne skips past Simmons. And St. Vincent wins it once again. Francis hangs on to it. Francis still with it in the middle. Looks for and finds his captain Stewart. Stewart closely marked, bundled over off of it, looking for something there from referee Mort Gaines, but it was not in coming.
Isaac once again.
And in the end, good work head there from, it looks like Matthias, or is it Jamal York? Charles. Player going to the ground there, and
it's going to be a yellow card for Grenada. Under the lights, a little difficult to pick up that number. It looks like
number 16.
It looks like Ganes.
No, yes, it is Ganes. Michael Ganes. Not one of those names that we are accustomed to here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Ganes. And Grenada. Oh, St. Vincent, sorry, with that free kick. Jamal York finds Simmons. Simmons, good ball there through to Haynes. But the defense is very quick indeed. There for Grenada, the defender on the ground, but he did his work and averted whatever possible danger there could have been. There was Simmons trying to take a quick throw in, but referee Mort Gaines would have none of it based on the fact that Grenadian players on the turf. And now
I think he's holding his left thigh, so I'm not sure really. But he's back on his feet. So it's going to be a throw-in for SVG. Still Chad Haynes. Shades a shot wide of the upright. And you're just bringing the crowd alive a bit. And out. So it's going to be a goal kick for Grenada. But a Grenadian player, he's down. Again, he's doing up some stretches. Referee Mort Gaines there, giving him a hand, pulling him to his legs. All is well. And play will continue. Whistle goes, so Richardson taking his time, just signaling to his players to go forward as the lights begin to take effect. Richardson, long ball downfield, searching for that man. Intercepted there by St. Vincent. You can see Ganes, it goes out of touch, so it's going to be a throw-in for Grenada. Grenada with that throw-in is going to be Ganes. Long ball, looks for Isaac. Isaac gives it away. St. Vincent would come away with it. Charles gives it back to Francis. Nice ball, but there is St. Vincent still with it. Michael Charles with it. Gives it to Matthias. Matthias looking to get around a defender. He will knocks it out of touch, so it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent. Throw quickly taken to Francis. Francis looking for Chad Haynes off the shoulder of the Grenadian. He goes out of touch. And it's going to be a corner for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's going to be Najima Borgin with that corner kick, as we see a couple of Vincentians trying to get inside that 18-yard box. Short pass, gives it to Stewart. Stewart gives it to Jackson, who beats a defender off the back of a defender. That's Isaac out of touch, just bringing the crowd alive a bit. And it would be another corner for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The crowd just coming alive there. So it's going to be a corner. Borgin. Jackson. Moit Gaines just holding things up. So Stewart takes the corner. Looping ball. Knocked away there by the goalkeeper. And infringement against St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, infringement against Francis. Really and truly did a number there on goalkeeper Richardson. Who now knocks it out into the path of looks like Gannis out there. Gannis knocks it upfield looking for Isaacs and goes to the ground. St. Vincent gets possession. No whistle there from referee Games, but ball given away. Shot comes in. As a matter of fact, a bit of a cross more than a shot, and it's out of touch. Throwing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So they still lead us 1 Grenada as we're into minute number 75. Here's Captain Cornelius Stewart, but Etienne is also there. Stewart regains possession, and we have a situation where there's a foul on the field. The shot comes in, and it's, well, out of touch. But Stewart was sort of set off a bit because right in front of him was a rooster.
I think that distracted him somewhat. And then he had to cut back inside. We had a shot, not a very powerful one, but curled outside the upright.
Yes, Najima Bergen with a good header. And again, the defense not giving Stewart any space whatsoever. Francis it is now for St. Vincent. Ball is nodded into the path of Jamal York. York finds what looks like Simmons. Bergen is on the ground, but Simmons continues for St. Vincent and again he's looking for his captain. Back to Simmons. Skips around Etienne, but he's not going to hold on to that one. A little too pacey. And a throw in there to to Grenada.
Yeah, so Simmons, I think he has bring some life to that forward for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and really I think if he can get into that middle, I think he can really do some damage.
Trying now, and ball is out of touch there from Philip.
It's going to be a throw in for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Should be taken well. Whistle going, and I believe we'll have a substitution to take place, is it? Well, not ready, so we're going to continue with the play. Bergen. There's Haynes. And ball is out of touch off the boots of Haynes. A throw into Grenada. Etienne to take the throw. And he's going to get a yellow card because there's more games trying to get the game going, and Etienne doing a bit of time wasting, I believe, trying to get the substitution for Grenada. Referee Games will have none of it. He was ready a while ago, but the bench was not ready, and yellow card now being shown there. So Etienne, and now we have another Grenadian player who's down.
He has been down for a while.
Is it Isaacs?
It looks like Isaac.
Joshua Isaac, let's see. It appears that way.
So I think he's calling for the stretcher.
Well, the stretcher, yes, now being taken in there for Isaac. He's going to be pulled out. He's going to be substituted, Isaac. And the number 9 player for Grenada who will come in is Julian Christoph.
And we have an invader on the field of play.
There is a rooster cock on the field. Bergen is trying to, that's not Bergen, Brad Haynes is trying to get it going, but here we see now having given Grenada a 2-goal lead. Now being stretched off. Isaac, and that's Rooster on your screen is creating a bit of a problem for some of the players. Let's hope that problem doesn't persist for too long. And the Grenada now with a throw in. Theodore.
So still a throw in for Grenada. There was a tussle there between Theodore and Simmons.
Like Simmons, yeah, Simmons. And the Grenada defense just taking the time. They have this 2-goal lead. We're into the 79th minute. And not really looking to press too much, if I can put it that way. Here's Richardson out there to what looks like Ganis. Ball knocked upfield now, and it's knocked away there by the Vincentian player, who seems to have pulled up with some kind of cramp. But play continues, and whistle going there. It's against Matthias, and another player for Grenada hits the turf.
Certainly, as the number 11, I think, for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's waving his arm, signaling something. I think we'd have to have the stretcher here.
Sherwin Alexander.
Yeah, so
holding on to that right thigh area of his. And we see Najima Bergen coming out for St. Vincent and the
so there
Grenadines.
will be a substitution. The number 14, that's Durham, Kishon Durham.
And Bergen is out. There's also number 16 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines who's come in. That's Kamal Bess. Yeah, and I believe Alexander might very well be out. Yes. Let's go up. And it's in the back of the net. So Grenada has scored a 4th goal. And it looks as if it is. We'll get the number for you in a little while. It's
number 16. Is that Ganis?
Ganis has scored. Michael Ganis. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1. Grenada 4. And there's absolute silence here this evening at the Victoria Park.
Well, certainly I think the crowd has been stunned. And really, Grenada really rolling over the Vincy Heat at this particular moment. And really the defense again caught napping.
It's really truly been a sloppy defensive job here in this game from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's Kevin Francis, Jamal York. Alexander gets a boot in, and luckily York was there to clean things up for Grenada, for St. Vincent, sorry. Here is now Matthias. Matthias still with it, looking to get Brad Haynes going, but ball cut out by the Grenadian defense, and Theodore now with possession. Works it further forward, finds the number 9 player who just came in, that's Kirsten. St. Vincent wins the possession nonetheless. It's with Captain Cornelius Stewart. Stewart finds York, back to Stewart. Still with it, Stewart. And the trying forward is worth Stewart, still with it, gets into the 18-yard box, has to pull up a bit. And still with possession. Comes out now there to Simmons. Simmons crosses and finds a Grenadian boot, but his back out shot comes in there. And India, not a bad effort there from Alexander.
But clearing the goal. Clearing the head of the goalkeeper. And outside for a goal kick.
So St. Vincent and the Grenadines being humbled here this evening. A 3-0, a 3-goal deficit, sorry.
4 goals to 1.
4 goals to 1. And Richardson now for Grenada to take that goal kick. We're into the 83rd minute. Ball is floated upfield. Isaacs not in his own, looking for Kirsten, but could only find what looks like Kamal Bess. Loses possession, Bess. And in the end, it's knocked away there by Kamal Bess for Vincy Heat, replacing Bergen. And Grenada with a throw to be taken by Etienne. Finds Frank, and not good communication there. And St. Vincent with a throw in.
But certainly it's a lackluster performance here by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you can look at the movement of the players. There's no sense of urgency really trying to put pressure on the Grenadians. But the Grenadians are capitalizing on every sloppy piece of work by the Vincentians.
Well, that one was knocked out of play. Kamal Bess to take a throw in for St. Vincent. And again, Grenada getting a boot in there. And trying once again to Bess. Back to Bess. Brad Haynes with possession. Still with Haynes. And in the end, St. Vincent losing possession. Grenada with it. Battle for possession, and now gets around one. Can he get around a second? Yes, he does. Gets into the 18-yard box. And Francis in the end comes there. And ball eventually is knocked out of touch there by Dean Roy Phillip of Grenada. And goal kick is quickly taken.
But it's a good piece of work by
Phillip.
Phillip.
It was, certainly. Charles for St. Vincent decides to go back in defense there to Francis. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Peters. And Peters looks for and finds Jamal York on that left side. York into the middle there now to his captain, Cornelius Stewart. Stewart closely marked by Theodore, but he gets around Theodore, slips a bit. And in the end, stuck to the ground there by Theodore, and will get a yellow card. You saw it was quite blatant.
Yeah, right in front of us.
Right in front of referee Moet Games. And Cornelius Stewart on his knee, on his right knee, gets up now. And Brad Haynes, it looks like, is going to take
that free kick.
Yes. And you can look at here's St. Vincent and the Grenadines with a free kick. And there's hardly anyone trying to get into that 18-yard box. As a matter of fact, no, it looks as if there's an injury to one of the Grenadians.
It looked like Philip. And it appears as if he's going to make his way off.
That's Abraham.
Abraham, the number 13.
Right. So St. Vincent with a free kick, but Abraham is taking his time to get off field after all. Grenada with a 4-1 lead in this, the 86th minute. And just waiting for Abraham to make his way off. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be Adine Charles to take there's a substitution quickly there by Grenada. Number 3 player coming in, that is Pierre, replacing. And, well, that one's just around the ground. Shot comes in, and well, Richardson is there. Not a bad plan there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the turn was
not enough power on the shot.
Exactly.
I think it was a weak shot.
But here's Grenada now with possession in the middle of the park, and whistle going, infringement against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. New player who's in there for Grenada. That's Dorel Pierre, but it comes over now to Etienne. Ball knocked up field, and Jamal York knocking it back to goalkeeper Peters. This could be a little dicey, but eventually the defense seems to have command of things. Back out there to Jamal York. Bess with possession, forced back there to York. York is going to look for his keeper, Peters, but he has to boot this one upfield and does so. Onto the head of Theodore. And Grenada, in the end, the ball is knocked away by the Vincentian defense. Finds what looks like Simmons. Bit of a tug in there. Finds Cornelius Stewart, and nipped there by the Grenadian player. Simmons now floats this one in and regains possession, but his first touch letting him down there a bit there, Simmons. Etienne is just going to try to work this as close as possible to the corner flag. No, he works it up, finds Kamal Bess. Back to Brad Haynes, to Bess. Bess now at the top of the 18 there, now to what looks like Alexander. Flows it across, now to Matthias. On the right side, Matthias, closely marked there, and decides to come back out to keep to Francis. And St. Vincent now one floated in off the head of the Grenadian defender. And in the end, it's Kamal Bess who finds what looks like Captain Stewart. So St. Vincent with a bit of possession here, knocking it around. Stewart to Bess. Cross comes in now from Bess. It's a low one, missed there by the advanced player, but shot comes in, blocked by The Grenadian tall number 19, or no, that's Marshall. Another powerful shot coming in, Rick, just over the crossbar. And
good effort.
Good effort. So, St. Vincent with some possession there, stringing a couple passes together. And in the end, shot going just over the crossbar.
Certainly creating some excitement there with the crowd, which has grown very significantly. And really was just coming alive, but that was just over the crossbar.
And we've seen yet another substitution for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Number 5 is in. That's Makeel Williams. I believe Jamal York is out. Here's Stewart. Simmons. Charles. Looking for Alexander, but the Grenadian players there first. Kamal Bess looking to cut it out for St. Vincent, and in the end, the defense is there for Vincy Heat. But Grenada still with it. And nice turn there. Kirsten getting onto this one now for Grenada. Cross comes in, shot is in, and a fine take and goal. Lovely, lovely game take and goal there by Grenada, Charlo.
Certainly, I think the Vincentians again caught napping. There they were trying to clear their defense. The Grenadians capitalized, pounced on it. One-time shot into the upright, into the far corner, and goalkeeper had absolutely no chance.
Absolutely no chance whatsoever. And the substitute who came in, that's the player wearing the number 3 shirt. That's Darrell Pierre. So that's a goal there for Darrell Pierre in the 90th minute. So it's a 5 goals to Grenada, 1 to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And certainly the Grenadians making a significant pronouncement here at the Victoria Park. And the turnout, which is not a bad one, you can hear a pin drop.
Well, so definitely. And we see referee Moet Gaines just had a quick look at his watch. And
3 minutes extra time.
So there are 3 minutes extra time granted.
Yes. And
can Vincy Heat score 4 goals within that 3 minutes?
Well, here's Cornelius Stewart, but he's robbed of it there by Theodore. He gains possession. Has to be careful here, and does well, Stewart. To Kamel Best. Best now finds what looks like Charles to Stewart. Stewart looking there for Brad Haynes to run on, but the Grenadian defender, as a matter of fact, Pierre, who just scored that goal,
knocked it out of touch.
Knocking it out of touch. So, Best floats this one in. Heads go up, and it's going to go out
wide of the upright.
So, good effort there from Durham. Got up, got the head onto it, but couldn't keep it down as per se. And here's that goal kick now resulting. So, into the first minute of extra time, 3 extra minutes being added. Grenada with a commanding lead, leading this one by some 5 goals to 1. And there's Kirsten battling there now with Durham. Wins possession for St. Vincent. Still within the Vincy Heat half. Ball now in the middle of the park, and here it looks like Matthias. Long floating ball, now looking for Captain Cornelius Stewart. Stewart goes to the ground. There's no, well, yes, the whistle goes, and it's going to be a free kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Pressure on Cornelius Stewart once again, not giving him any chance whatsoever.
Certainly. So, seems if it's Stewart who's going to take the free kick. Theodore is there for Grenada. And referee Mode Games just making sure that the allotted 10 yards is in place. As a matter of fact, Francis now comes over. Kevin Francis.
We are in this 2 minutes of extra time has elapsed.
Well, can they pull one back here, St. Vincent and the Grenadines? It's really truly been a commanding performance by the Grenadians. And
Wow.
what a waste. What a waste of a free kick. It sums up the performance of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As far as this game is
Really.
concerned.
A very lackluster performance and a very commanding and dominating performance by Grenada.
Richardson really and truly would have given that first goal to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And since then, he's looked fairly well in the uprights. Come out, Best gets ahead in there now to Simmons. Close to the mark to Simmons there by Theodore. Gets around him to Charles. Charles finds what looks like Brad Haynes. Haynes, well, holds on, goes to the ground. And it's headed out. And
That's
there
the
goes
whistle.
the final whistle. Grenada winning this one commandingly by some 5 goals to 1. Humbling Vincey Heat, of course, taking the fire out of the Vincey
Taking the heat out.
well, the fire.
The fire, so there's no heat.
And it's a 5-1 thumping defeat here for Vincey Heat after that victory in Carriacou last Saturday. And certainly, Charlo, the Vincentians looked quite naturally short of work. Wasn't as quick to the ball as we noticed this
Yes.
Vincey Heat. There was that situation where Captain Cornelius Stewart, there was that continued effort on the left side to try to get him going. But of course, well marked, I should say, by the Grenadian defense.
Well, it is clear that the Grenadians would have done their homework. And so they have placed persons to mark Cornelius Stewart, not giving him that chance. So he has 2 or 3 players to contend with each time he gets to the ball. But it was really a lackluster performance by the Vincentians. They came out and there was no sense of urgency. One wants to ask the question if the weather pattern over the last few days had any effect in terms of their training on their own fitness, but really that sort of energy was not there. But the Grenadians, you can see the energy and that will to go out there, and they really put the pressure on St. Vincent, and they came away with a very commanding victory here, 5 goals to 1. And I think all congratulations must go to the Grenadians.
Well, certainly, of course, congratulations to them. Congratulations, of course, to Joshua Isaac, who scored that hat-trick. Did so in the 31st, the 34th, and the 36th minute of play. And that in itself certainly would have taken the wind out of the sails of the Vincentians, both, if I can put it like that. But in all, at the end of it, of course, Grenada getting that revenge.
Certainly.
And
winning away from home. The Vincey Heat won away from home as well.
Well, we certainly would like to thank all you folks who joined us for this broadcast. On behalf of the production crew here at BC3, channel 114. Of course, we're also available on Facebook for those persons who follow the stream live on Facebook. Certainly got to thanks to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation. Of course, President Dixon, General Secretary Poyer, and all those persons, of course, involved with football here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But based on today's results, it's back to the drawing board as far as football is concerned.
A lot of work to be done. I think one of the areas that they will have to pay some attention to would be their own fitness, and then you have to learn to strategize. But there's some work to be done in terms of the defense, because certainly the defense has been poor in this encounter.
Well, we thank you very much for this broadcast. This is where we wrap it up. For persons, of course, following the local football competition, right after this we'll have a new game where Police is going to be taking on Green Hill. And certainly we look forward to that one. Thank you ever so much. And yeah, just keep following BC3, keep following football, the game of the people.